Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for April 5th, 2022. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com. You're going to scroll down, look for this Zoom banner. Now, this is an SRC4u software demonstration. If you would like to be part of Cathy's SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, the information's here. This is for individuals who are not ready to purchase the SRC4u software and basically want to test it out, so to speak. So come on over, join the call where Cathy will demonstrate the software.
Okay, so here we are. This is from yesterday, and it looks like as soon as we finish this part about the aged brain, we may need to do some deeper work on a weakened immune system. Now, I'm doing this on another computer. I have got to reach a point where I can shut this computer down, give it a rest. Kevin has some new things for it, and so I'm doing some of this on the other computer. But you can see we want significant stress management for the spleen, which ties in so much with our immune system. And we can see, I believe, I meant to check this ahead of time. Yeah, there are quite a few cocktails on the spleen. This is the most recent up here that comes from the encyclopedia. So let's just see while we're at it today, is it a priority for our chief to get one of these? Not really. So we you know, the WonderClick is doing it, but the information, I think, also in the Pro Tools are doing it. Now, we had a 91% benefit today of the discarnate scan. So we're doing that. I don't think, from what I'm reading, I did a little bit more reading last night and really souped up our discarnate scan. So anybody I sent that to before that wanted it, as soon as I get it really organized, I'll send you the fresh one. And, you know, anybody else who wants that scan, I'm happy to send it. It's not anything we want to focus on, but we do need to be aware there seems to be some interesting things going on out there with negative energy. And the interesting part, it's all kind of interesting, is that there's so much information on that, and a lot of people have no clue what they're doing. And it's interesting. What I read, it said a seasoned, for lack of a better term, witch or Wicca or warlock or any of that, they know the karmic repercussions, and yet they're doing it anyway. And again, this is not all. I don't know where to even take you with this. It's just information. Now, for today, we're going to be working with the QiGong panel and then the mediator, so maybe we can all come to terms today with what we want to mediate, and I will do it on the other computer. But, and then Sharon called with this statement: any darkness that comes near or at me or my family is now reflected back 1,000,000 times with pure divine white light. That's what we really want to be doing. We want to be sending it out with love, divine white light, Christ consciousness. We don't want to be returning bad energy. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yes. Cathy, how was you know, about the intention that we do on Wednesdays? And
yes.
Something like this would be very nice also.
I love that. What do you think, Joanna? I think, now you see, we have a little stress with that, so we may not have been thinking in those terms. The other phenomenal thing to do is to bless it.
Okay.
And I did write a blessing last night after reading what I read. If anybody wants it, shoot me an email and I'll send it to you. But let's look at this right here. We see that there's a little stress related to that. It's a kind of a chronic stress. I've been liking this sustenance balancer. We may not need it, but let's see. Yeah, we'll take it. So we're going to put this one through all of our water and food, our supplements, anything we're eating or drinking. And today that'll be one of the things. We didn't call for the sustenance balancer here, but I've gotten to where I use it every day. This might also be something good to mediate. Let's just see what it would be like in the mediator. No, that's not the step. Let's just see, since we also asked for QiGong, if we want that for the QiGong. No, so we'll just do the sustenance balancer. Now, from yesterday, we had that new cocktail, and I heard from someone, and they kind of improved it. We're having a little energy here to scramble the non-beneficial frequencies of all mood-altering medications and substances. I asked to have it disconnect any addictive properties and change them into a repulsive and repugnant stimulus to all associations with the non-prescription drugs. So we have someone that improved on that. I think this is much more positive. That's what I'm hoping you guys will do when you have these thoughts. Scramble the non-beneficial frequencies of all mood-altering medications and substances, disconnect any addictive properties, and transform those properties into energies that bring benefit, body, mind, and soul. That sounds a lot better, doesn't it?
Sounds great.
I love it. So anyway, moving forward, this is the scan. You'll get these in the email today. But this, wait a minute, let me get down to 0. Where are we? Number 7. Where'd we go? This is in reference to the Alzheimer's stress. And it's probably something we need to stay on top of it, all of us, just because of all the environmental stress. But this is what we asked for: flexibility, and believe it or not, that often is a sign of a more mature mind, even if you're up in years, to realize there's a big picture and you're not always right. You've had quite a few lessons by that point. So we're amping that up to 101. Core memory. Let's just see that one. No. Let's see if we want that. The QiGong. Yeah, we'll take that one by the QiGong, so I'll just make myself a note. Now these are these rife frequencies, and there's a great website, which maybe some of you already subscribe to. For some reason, I used to, and then it just stopped, and now I've resubscribed. AlteredStates.net. Are you familiar with it, anybody?
Yes.
If not, you might want to be, because it really has a lot of information. And this is where
I am too, Cathy.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, and what happens is they gave a list of codes, rife codes, in reference to this kind of stress. And they said, just do each one time. So 1 minute. So we're doing 1 minute. Now let's look at our neuron growth. Well, it's kind of funny with the neuron growth. What you really need is them to all talk to each other. So we want the neurons, the brain cells, but then we need to have the bridges too. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And then a lot of us, we know what we're supposed to be doing for ourselves, but we're not doing it. So this is a little code for that did come up. You see, that's a little chronic. We're just not doing what we know to do. Okay, just for the heck of it, see the mediator. A lot of times, just not motivated to do these things. No? I'm just checking the shin. That in, follow the Tesla. This one, no code yet. This amyloid angiopathy, another term that you can look up. We're not medical people. We're stress people. That's what I want to do, though. Here. Okay, so a little stress there. Again, it is from the subtle bodies. This is proactive, highly proactive. Get the information. Then we want to regenerate the neurons, which I'm going to do on the other device. But nothing wrong with regenerating some brain cells. And then let's see if this is a priority. Make sure our polarity is where we want it. Remember, the codes are the good things. Yeah, so we want to add that one. Repair damage to nerve cells. Stamp that out. Still a little chronic stress. Here are some of the things that can accomplish that. Maybe I'll send that tomorrow, but I have a list of everything that can compromise the brain cells. I've got it farther down. Well, that's closer. 65. And let's also see if we want the mastery. So yeah, we're wanting to run this one in the mastery. Again, I'm going to do it on the other computer so we can get this one cleaned up. And then we have, again, our polarity may be a bit off today, so let's see. Okay, so it just looks like that one issue. Let's do that. By the way, we did want to include family members today. And here's our statement, I am forgiven, is what we resonated with. All right, we're going to start out, as you can see, but with a little focus. So we're going to do the manual controls.
Hey, Cathy.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you that I added something to that spell casting one.
Oh, yeah.
I put this in Grabavoy, and believe it or not, they had a number for it, bind and vaporize all spell casting.
Ooh.
So
yeah, hold on a second. If you want to share that with us, let me get this up here.
Sure.
I like that vaporize. Grandmaster says that a lot. Bind and vaporize all spell casting.
Yeah.
And I'm ready.
836 53776.
Thank you. So that's another one for us. And it's not a matter of focusing on it. It's just a matter of accepting the reality of this. And that can be kind of a challenge as well. Well, let's see where we are now. Summer heat, lungs. Lungs has been coming up on a regular basis. Let's see, stress, related lungs. Yeah, we need to focus a little bit on that. There's that amino acid again. That is, and Annie, I still have to check out what that information you sent me. I'll do that hopefully today. But it looks like we may need to start supplementing or doing something. And as you know, the aminos are the ones that hold the coding. So let's just balance that down. But we're going to take some dietary changes as well. It's not a matter just to send a few codes. Element, fire system, legs, inflictions, energetic. There's that. Now that curse thing hasn't been back in a long time. So it's popped up today. And my own belief, the biggest curse we have is we've been taught so many things that aren't true. But it is interesting that came up today. Let's just douse it down. And nothing we want to focus on. A little physical stress. Look at that. See, this is kind of what I'm seeing. Demonic attack correction. This is what I'm seeing with so many scans. I don't know if anybody has any insight on that. Is that a form of new cell phone tower radiation or something our field is picking up, that's doing this? But we are seeing it. You see the pericardium has come up. Let's just look at that. If you want that cocktail. Close, but not quite. Stomach meridians. Okay, so it looks like there is some kind of a deficiency. I'm going to guess it's a dietary, might be the amino acids. And again, I can't stress too much. This is subtle. This is kind of a little warning sign, little information. Where'd that go? Throat chakra. There's lungs again. Words to ponder. People specialize in their area of greatest weakness. Isn't that the truth? That's why even with therapists and such, you have to be aware. Most of us got into this work because we were physically not where we wanted to be. Okay, well, that's interesting. The subconscious is moving from the despair that we've seen come up at times. The ego is wanting a little foolishness. Let's just look in that. Again. I have to look at this one. Kevin, can you educate us a little on this terminology right here? Yang Wei Ma, Yang linking. Is that our organs basically not communicating like they could?
That's energy coming up from the feet,
Okay.
through the legs, coming up.
Okay. So that's our stress. Just for the heck of it. That's our core. We have some real walkers in this group. Just for the heck of it, walk every day. And that could be part of the answer right there. It's funny, for the blood pressure scan, that's one of the things. It says get a pet. So, anyway, let's get this going. And I know from my end of the spectrum, I'm getting a lot of calls from people in the group that are going, oh, look at that, attract wealth. That's interesting. Getting people in the group texting, saying, can you send me some extra energy? And they've got some real stress at this time. And I like what one person said, we may be in some interesting times, and it's going to separate the wheat from the chaff. chaff, however you say that. And so we all want to be wheat. and I'm not sure why all this stress, spiritual stress, is coming up at this time, but it does seem to be something other energy people are talking about. Are any of you seeing that with your work?
Yes, and remember, this is really a spiritual war that we're in right now. This is a war. This is a war of good and evil.
It does appear, yeah.
Yeah. So we're bound to get a lot of stress because just by the nature of what we're doing.
According to Doreen Light, she says there are people employed to actually send the negative energy out. And Dorian has been around and done this work for a long time. I tend to respect everything she says. So is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, we've even had people on the news talking about sending out dark energy. So it's possible. And it can't hurt us if we're aware. It's like that old example of the truck. If you don't see it, you step in front of it, you might get hurt. But if you are aware, and there are some signs, by the way, if you are yourself under, receiving any non-beneficial energy, one of them is extreme fatigue. That's probably the biggest one. Another is just confusion. And it's interesting, we're talking about the brain. So certain people that are familiar with all this, they recognize those symptoms pretty quickly. And then what do? You do something about it, clear it. Anything else? So we'll do our intention group tomorrow for those who can, and maybe work on this right here. Any darkness that comes near or at me or my family is now reflected back 1,000,000 times with pure divine white light. That sounds pretty good to me. And I guess that's it for today.
Thank you, Cathy. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, you guys. Take care.
All right. You have a great day.
You too.
Everybody.
Goodbye.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.